And what I mean by lately is just pretty much, since we hopped off. I mean, we've seen some like actual pumps, and then we've just seen a lot of choppy, rangy price action, right? So this is just not, this is not high probability here. This stuff right here is not high probability. When you see the market moving like this, like we can look here, right? Range, chop, 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 and then we see a pump, and then we see a dump, and then we see chop, 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 right? So this would be low probability trading conditions, in my opinion. But what you have to do is you have to break it down and look at some higher time frame stuff. So I look at the 15 minute, and the first thing I want to notice is we have Asia high all the way up here, up at 18,357.75. That we almost got to, right? So, I mean, let's just look at this, right? Last night, from market open last night to the low, 4,183 ticks. And then from this morning to up here, 3,703 ticks, right? So it's just been an insanely volatile day, up and down. Something that you can't, it's pretty hard to predict, right? Everybody wants to predict the market and know exactly what's going to happen. I'll tell you right now, this is one of those days that is, I think a lot of people had wrong in a lot of different ways. And even if you did have it right, it's a little bit difficult to get those trades down. Let's just look at our daily candle real quick. Just look at that pullback on the daily candle, and then we have that volume gap up here, which now it looks like price is trying to come all the way back and target that volume gap and refill that imbalance. Right after seeing this pump, we go to the 4 hour. We're pushing through this 4 hour imbalance, and we've bounced off that next 4 hour imbalance above that 4 hour bearish fair value gap. And the next really resistance that we see on the chart on the 4 hour would be this 4 hour bearish order block up here with this up close candle. So that would be that next target for the longs, would be up into this volume gap and up into that 4 hour bearish order block. Yeah, exactly, right? We're moving 100, 200 ticks both sides. Yeah, this is just, it's still not really ideal conditions to trade. So I'm still not really wanting to take trades today, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Just seeing the way the market has been moving, it just really makes me want to sit on the sideline. It makes me want to sit on my hands and not even try to get involved. We might be able to find a good setup with some micros, but we're gonna have to have very, very good risk management, even with trading small amounts of contracts, right? Even if we're trading 2 to 3 micros, you still have to have very good risk management because of these 1 minute candles moving so much in these 1 minute ranges. All right, like even just looking at this range from here to here, right? 342 ticks, which normally this kind of range would be maybe 100 ticks at most, maybe 50, 70 ticks. So it just makes it very difficult. Yes, exactly. As our risk management coach says, risk management assessment on the day, thumbs down. Exactly, right? It's just, there's not a lot of options today to have good risk management. Even with the reward that we have, just not a lot of great opportunity here. And the other hard thing is we trade into these levels that you'd want to see us bounce off of, right? But then we trade right through levels that we would want to see price respect. We trade right through, and then we reverse. So we're not really respecting a lot of our levels, and we're pretty much inversing and then reversing right back, not using the inverses. Right, so like right here on the 5 minute, we see this reversal pattern, right? We see a high, low, higher, high. We come down and displace the lows. So we have a bearish breaker. All right, so now we're charting our lowest down close candle. So right now we're respecting this bearish breaker, right, on the 5 minute. But here's the issue. Let's say you wanted to get an entry from up here. You want to keep a stop above. Your stop has to be over 200 ticks, right? Because you want to keep your stop above that breaker. And even then, with this choppy price action, we could still trade up into this fair value gap on the 5 minute before dropping, still respecting the breaker. And, we could manipulate up for 200, 300, 400 ticks and still stop us out and then come back down, right? So even when we have our levels, even when we have a bearish breaker or reversal pattern, there's just not too much going on that we could trade. And now when I'm looking at the 1 minute, this makes me really just want to sit out, right? Just looking at this chop. This is the account killer right here. When you see this kind of stuff, this is what you want to stay out of, right? This is just chop, 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 sideways price action. And on a normal day, you might be able to get away with trying to trade this because maybe it's chopping 40 ticks, maybe it's chopping 50 ticks. But look at like this range right here. Like I said, it's chopping 200, 300, 400 ticks at a time. So just really not the best opportunities, which is okay, right? There's nothing wrong with sitting out on a trading day. There's going to be days that we should really be sitting out, and this to me is one of those days that I just want to sit out of this market. I want to preserve, yep, exactly, preserve my capital. And yep, DC Moranos is 100% correct. Live to trade another day. Live to trade another day. We're going to have so many good trading days. You know, maybe tomorrow we'll have a better trading day. Maybe Wednesday we'll have a better trading day. You know, less volatile, better setups, good risk management. But what's the point in forcing your hand in the market while we don't have high probability setups just to lose all of your capital and not be able to actually take those trades in the future days? Right? Trading, one of the biggest parts of trading is preserving your capital. How do you do this in the long run? How do you preserve capital for the long run? It's a marathon, right? Not a sprint. It is not a sprint. Trading is a marathon. Think about it. We have, what, like 250 trading days throughout each year? If you break it down by the year, so what if you have to maybe sit down on 30 of those trading days or 50 of those trading days, whatever the number is, that still gives you 150, 100 or 200 or 200 plus trading days throughout the year to make money. So just because some of those days are not going to be good days to trade, it's not the end of the world. There's still plenty of other opportunities to make money. So I've already talked about this a lot today, but the difference between a disciplined trader and an undisciplined trader is someone that trades this kind of price action and someone that sits out of this kind of price action. Right? That's the difference. Unless you really have your risk management down and you had a plan coming into today with understanding the volatility, and maybe you knew you were going to keep a 400 tick stop and you were going to swing trade, that's different. Maybe you already had a plan. You're like, I'm willing to risk $2,000 because my reward is about 6,000, and I know I'm going to have to risk about 400 ticks on this trade, but I'm looking to catch 1,200 ticks. That's completely different. Right? If you had that plan coming into the market and you understood your risk management, you understood how much you're risking, how much you're trying to get, that's completely different. But if you came into today and you saw the volatility and you just started chasing trades and you started trying to jump in, going heavy, that is not discipline, right? That is the opposite of discipline, and that's what sets us back. So that's still my mindset today. That is still my mindset today. And that's always my mindset, no matter what. Every single trading day, I come into the market and I tell myself, is this a high probability day or is this a low probability day? Are these high probability setups or low probability setups? If they're high, I'm looking to execute trades. If they're low, I'm not looking to get in. And if I do get in, I'm risking very little or minuscule amounts of money, relative to what I trade. It's all going to be relative to your trading style, how much you're risking, right? What your account size is, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And again, just watching this price action here, this is no bueno. This is no bueno right here. We are chopping. No me gusta. I don't like this stuff. Don't like it at all. So I still wanted to hop on and just kind of talk to you guys and see what's going on here. Just kind of look at our price action. But from what I'm seeing right now, it really makes me not want to get in any trades. I'm telling you, the people that are trading today are either the market makers that have millions to billions of dollars in this market that are moving this market, or people that don't know what they're doing and that are just gambling. Right? Those are the people that are trading today. The disciplined traders are not trading today. The retail traders that have the strongest discipline are probably staying out of this market. That's just what I think, and I'm pretty sure that's a true statement right there. I don't think that your really disciplined retail traders are trying to get into this stuff right now, because they know that tomorrow's a new day. They know that there's going to be more opportunity throughout this year, throughout this week, throughout the next week, so the next month, where they're going to be able to make huge gains, or they're going to be able to make consistent gains. And what happens on a day like this is you get so eager, you get so much FOMO, and once you hit that loss limit, you don't stop, and you just keep going, and you keep going, you keep going. You end up blowing an account, you end up getting another one, you end up blowing that account, you end up getting another one, you end up blowing that account. Right? I've been there. It sucks. It's not fun. Before you know it, you just blew hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars in one day because you just couldn't be patient and you couldn't wait. And, it's just the hard truth, and it sucks, right? It's not fun. Everybody has to go through it at some point. Most people do have to learn the hard way. You pretty much have to go, learn the hard way. I try to help you guys so you don't have to learn it the hard way. That's my goal for you. That's why I talk about this stuff so consistently. But I know sometimes it's inevitable, right? Sometimes it is very inevitable. Very inevitable. So, yeah, we're bouncing off the breaker. We're starting to break structure again back to the downside. But even then, I still don't really like taking any entries here. Just looking at all these time frames. There's just not too much going on. Not too much going on that I like. That's where I'll leave it at. So for those of you that have been trading, that have not sat on the sideline, how has that been going for you today? I know I asked you guys earlier, and it was kind of a mix of some people were green, some people were red. It was a little bit of a mix. But I would like to know how it's going. Oh, there we go. See, and that's what I want to see. If you are trading, I really want you guys to be in the green. Oh, there you go, DC Morenos. All right, so it seems like the discipline is there. It seems like your guys' discipline is there. It seems like pretty much everybody is green, which makes me very happy. That's what I want to see. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. If you're going to trade this stuff, you have to size down. You really do. You have to. I mean, if you're going your normal size, that means you're probably going way over what your normal stop loss would be. Well, there you go. Man, well that makes me happy. That eases my mind a little bit to see you guys are doing well today. Yeah, and that's how it goes, Glenn. It's like each one of those blown accounts is like a punch right to the gut, right? But it seems like every time you go through that, you're that much closer to that discipline, 100%. You start learning your lesson. You start learning more and more. What's up, Polenta? How you doing? So we're getting a nice reaction off this bearish breaker. Yeah, it's hard. That's a very hard situation, Glenn. Very difficult. You're that close. But the good thing about that is you know that you can make it, right? You know that you got that close before. That means you can get there again. And now the next time you've learned your lesson and now you have that discipline instilled and you're going to get it going. No trades for me today. No trades. Too volatile. Yeah, that was a quick dump off of that breaker. All right, that's what I wanted to see off this breaker was us to start falling from here, break structure. All right, so we're seeing the drop now. We're seeing that drop. Now we've got this 1 minute bearish order block up here. All right, pretty strong drop. Pretty strong drop. So really for me, it's just tape reading, looking at my levels. Right? I mean, I would think about maybe shorting off this 1 minute bearish order block up here. I would think about shorting off this 1 minute bearish order block, give myself a 100 tick stop. Right? And if we use our fib on the 5 minute breaker, we could see what are we looking for? What's our reward looking like? Oops. All right, going from that low to that high up there. First standard deviation is right around these lows, right around this chop. Okay, so what kind of reward are we looking for here? There's a lot of it. Right, we'd be looking all the way back down to VWAP for about 657 ticks. Right, so that, to me, that would be a good risk to reward. 100 tick, around 150, 100 tick stop for 600 plus ticks. That's good risk to reward. If you're scaling down, right? If you're scaling down, that's pretty good risk to reward. But that's only to say if we trade back into that order block. Right now, we're just falling. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how many times you can get hit and keep getting up. Resilience. Exactly. WWRD. It's Rocky Balboa right there. You're going to get punched so many times by this market. No matter how long you've been trading for, you're going to get punched. You're going to get rocked. Right? It doesn't matter how many times it happens. It applies in life. It applies in trading. It's just how do you recover? How do you answer? Right? How do you react? Are you going to be resilient or are you going to give into it? As a trader, you have to be resilient. You got to fight. If this is what you truly want, you got to keep instilling that discipline. You got to keep working on that discipline. Every time you feel like you hit rock bottom, well, the only way is up. The only way is up from there. All right, so we have that breaker block over here on ES as well. We're taking out that recent low. Just swept that recent low on NQ and ES. All right, so I'm expecting, I want to see us continue to drop here. I would like to see us continue to drop. What I'd want to see is this 15-minute to come down and really close below those recent lows. See that strong displacement. See this 5-minute come down and displace those lows. All right, I just want to see this one keep heading down now. I want to see this one heading down. Yeah, it is like a head and shoulders pattern, right? It's that breaker. It's that market structure shift pattern. Trade back into it, reject off of it. All right, pretty good rejection there. So this is a true reversal pattern here, and we are reversing. So now we just want to see old lows continue to get taken out. Fair value gaps tapped into, reacting off those fair value gaps in our next silver bullet hour. All right, so that's what we're looking at. We still need to see good levels to get in off of, right? Like let's say I wanted to get in off this 1 minute OB that we're forming right now. Okay, we just formed a 1 minute OB. All right, so this would be another entry level that I would actually think about taking. But we need to see a nice bounce off of it. We need to see a nice rejection off of this OB to take the shorts. So I'll try them out, guys. I'll try them out. All right, I just got an entry in the shorts. Just half a lot, very small, 3 micros. Oh, I'm not sharing my, here, let me share my account real quick with you, just so you guys can see my exact entry. I want you guys to see my exact entry. My entry is at 18.50. So let me just hurry up and share this with you real quick. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, so I'm just testing them out off this 1 minute order block, just reading order flow. Entries all the way down here, so I'm going to keep a 100 tick stop above that order block. So 18.4325. And this would probably be one of my only trades, honestly, guys. But I'm willing to try it out because the reward is still there. We're looking to come down to first standard deviation all the way down to these lows. We're looking for, you know, about 450 ticks in profit. We're going light. Risking about, what, 150 bucks? Risking about 150 bucks or so. So I'm down to try it, guys. This is, you know, I won't really try much today. But seeing the breakout, seeing us form an order block, seeing us respecting bearish order flow, yeah, I'll try it. And again, we could easily retrace right back up into this order block or come back into that breaker. So today, this is still a very high risk position. No matter what, every trade that we even attempt today is going to be high risk, right? But look how that 5 minute came down and displaced. So just understand, every trade, if I get into another trade or, you know, any trade today taken is going to be high risk, no matter what. It's going to be high risk. But we're adjusting to market conditions here. So, you know, 100 tick stop for a 450 tick reward. So we're looking at a 4.51 RR. Not too bad. Now we just have to see us bounce off this 1 minute order block. We saw displacement on the 5 minute. That's what we wanted to see. Close below our previous lows. Now we just don't want to see too much retracement. We want to see us just bounce off this 1 minute OB. We do want to see this 15 minute come down and close below that recent low as well. So we'll see. We'll let it ride. Keep a 100 tick stop for now and see if this one wants to start dropping from here or not. Order flow, everything tells me short right now. You know, the one risk is how much retracement are we going to get? Are we going to retrace super hard and come up into an imbalance above? Well, then that's just the risk that we're taking here. Yeah, we got the market structure shift on multiple time frames. We created resistance, right? Bearish order flow. So it's something I'm willing to try. And we'll see if this one stops me out or not. Again, this is normal risk for me. That's the reason I'm willing to do a 100 tick stop, because even with the 100 tick stop, I still wouldn't even hit my daily loss limit on these accounts. So it's something I'm willing to try out. Now, if I was looking for only like 100 ticks of reward, I would not try this trade out. But since we're looking for 400 plus ticks, it's something I'm willing to do. And now that we've seen price action clean up a little bit, we've seen it actually start to push down. Now we're starting to see a little bit of chop, right? But I started to see better price action, something I was willing to try out. Right now it's not looking too good. It's looking like we want to stop me out. We just stopped me out. So look, there we go. I risked $150. My daily loss limit typically on these accounts is about $250, right? 200 to 250 bucks. That's typically what my daily loss limit looks like. So, you know, still have about $100 to risk if there's another trade setup, if I want to take another setup. So now we'll have to see, is there going to be another setup? Right, so every trade we take is going to be extremely high risk today. Even with a 100 tick stop there, right, we come up, we manipulate, we stop us out. That's just the reality of today. That's just how today goes. We started to chop after we got our entry. Oh well, we tried it out. And we still kept good risk management. That's what I really care about. As long as we're keeping good risk management, that's what I care about. I see a setup I like, I try to execute it. Let's see if maybe we want to trade into this 5 minute up above. We might try to trade into this 5 minute imbalance up here. Right here, we got that 5 minute SIBI. I mean, there's still a strong possibility that we drop from this order block. We're still respecting it, but now I'm not going to get a reentry now that I've seen us chopping. That's the issue. Now that I see us chopping, you're not going to see me get a reentry. I'd have to wait for another breakout, another displacement and retracement move, or wait for us to fake out, right? I'm not going to get an entry in this chop. I got the entry before we started chopping, and then it started happening, and that's when, you know, you can't really control that too much. The only thing you can control at that point is just getting out of your trade. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Too much chop again. Too much chop. Chop, chop, chop. Yeah, it's pretty much right when we got our entry is when we started to chop. I mean, I still want to see these shorts come back in. Everything still tells me very bearish here. The next thing we want to see is this 15-minute candle close below these lows, get strong displacement. All right, we can also use our Fibonacci from our AM low up here, and we can see, look, our equilibrium is right around that same level as the first standard deviation for that breaker, right? So if we wanted to come down to a discount, that's the same exact level. So a lot of confluence there for these shorts. A lot of confluence for these shorts. Still would want to see them come down to VWAP. Let's see if we want to trade into that 5-minute, maybe bounce off the 5-minute imbalance before coming back down. We got about 3 minutes until the 15-minute candle closes. We really do want to see this one displace. Create another lower low. Create a lower high, lower low. Now we want to see another lower low formed. Now let's see if we want to trade up into this level. So how many of you felt comfortable in that trade if you took it, and how many of you did not feel comfortable if you did get an entry there? Right, because keeping a stop like that can feel uncomfortable because it's not what we're used to. It's a lot different. Okay, so you stayed out of it. Yeah, I'm going to go live with Danny for Power Hour. We're going to go live for Power Hour. We'll see if I'm going to actually take any trades or not. So let's see if these shorts do come in now. And also, is anybody holding still? Or is everybody pretty much out? I still expect these shorts to come in. Look at that drop, right? So this was what I was expecting. And even with the 100-tick stop, it still got stopped out, right? But again, we had the right idea. We have the analysis. We kept a very wide stop, and it still didn't work out. But for those of you that kept a wider stop or maybe got a higher entry or were willing to hold it, I mean, this one still looks pretty good. I mean, let's see. Our entry was right around here. Right? That's about 139 ticks there. And look at that drop, right? So this is what I was expecting. And at this point, I'm not going to get FOMO. I'm not going to be upset. I'm just happy. Yeah, I had the right analysis. I had a good trade. And even with the 100-tick stop, still got stopped out. What are you going to do? You know, I guess I could have had a little bit higher of a stop loss, maybe a little bit higher of an entry. That's just kind of picking little specific things. Yeah, this 5-minute OB would be a nice entry point if we retrace back into that level. That could be a very nice entry. Could be a very nice entry, maybe off a 1-minute fair value gap down here. Let's look at ES over here. So ES hasn't displaced that. No SMT there, but no displacement for ES on that 5-minute order block. So yeah, I would like to see a continuation. Remember, right at VWAP, we have the first standard deviation off the 5-minute bearish breaker, and we have our equilibrium on our daily range. So two very key levels that I could see us retracing to. Same exact level right at VWAP. So that's just that confluence right there. So if we want to test that order block there, if we want to trade into this fair value gap, order block would be another good confluence there for a short. All right, we got this 5-minute order block right here. Fair value gap on the 1 minute overlapping. Yeah, I want to see this one keep dropping. Really want to see this continue to drop. All right, this is exactly what I was looking at, right? Reversal pattern, London close or lunchtime reversal, trade back into the breaker and drop. Displace the previous lows. Exactly what I was expecting. 15-minute displacement on the right there. All these confluences have come together, right? All these confluences have come together. So now I just want to see if there's retracement enough for us to get an entry. Right here could be a good entry, right? Right off this 5-minute OB, 1 minute fair value gap. All right, we just want to see a reaction real quick. Want to see a reaction off the level. Don't want to see us push right through it. Don't want to see us push right through this level. I want to see a strong rejection off this order block and fair value gap here. With the way price action is moving today, I mean, we could easily see price come right back up. Right, but I do want to see us drop. That's a good rejection there. All right, I'll try out the shorts one more time here, guys. One more time. And again, I can risk about another $100 to $150. So I can only have a 100 tick stop here. So 18.2975 is going to have to be my stop. And I'm going to have to hope that we don't come up to that level and that we do reject this level. So far, we are not rejecting that level whatsoever. We started to, we saw it, yeah, and there it is. So that's my daily loss limit right there. Now I'm done. All right, so again, I'm willing to be more aggressive with prop firm accounts, right, compared to maybe a funded account or a live account. That's why you still saw me try to trade these today. You're not going to really see me, probably wouldn't trade a live account or a funded account today. But with those prop firms, yeah, I was willing to risk that right there because we saw rejection. We saw us trade into resistance levels. We still have our sell side target. Had a 100 tick stop, and there it is, right? So 2 trades, hit the daily loss limit, and that's it. That's all. I'm not going to take any more trades. At that point, if you hit your daily loss limit, you just got to call it quits. You got to walk away. You got to close your broker, walk away. But like I was saying before, right? I'm going to be willing to be a little bit more risky with prop firm eval accounts compared to a normal live or funded account. But even then, I still like to trade the right way, and we still kept and focused on our risk management there. Right? We only took setups that I really liked. I only took 2 setups that I really wanted to see happen that I still think will happen. But look we got manipulated. Price wanted to come up another 100 ticks, stop us out, and we'll see if it starts to drop again. Still respecting that level. But the point of this whole thing is to show that you can still use proper risk management and still try to take a trade even on a day like today. Right? So I still use proper risk management. It might not have worked out, but now I'm done. Now I won't take any more trades. Right? $300. I lost 300 and I call it quits. That's the risk. $250, anywhere from $200 to $300, right? $200, $250, $300. That's the risk for me on these 50K accounts. Especially now that I'm more into profit on them, I'll give it a little bit more risk sometimes. Could we go up since it's sweeping liquidity? There's still potential, yes. There's still potential we could on the 5-minute trade up and grab those equal highs in that fair value gap and then drop. Right, but what my assumption would be and what my plan was we saw that strong displacement on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, we saw strong displacement on the 5. We create a 5-minute order block, bearish order block with a 1-minute bearish fair value gap, right? And 1-minute bearish order block. We reject off of those levels. So all my confluences were coming together. So I had a bunch of confluences in that position. But yes, there's still a possibility we could see price trade up and grab those equal highs up there into the 5-minute before dropping again, for sure. All right, so I took a little bit more aggressive route and waiting for that first pullback into that first resistance level to short off of. But looking at the 5-minute, yeah, these are those equal highs I talked about. That fair value gap I talked about. If we're going to keep pumping, that's that level I would expect us to pump to and then get another rejection off of that. All right, man, I'll see you in the AM. See you in the morning. Yeah, so for me, tried out 2 trades. That's all I'm going to do. That was my risk for the day. That was my risk for this session. That's it. First trade, good analysis. Got chopped up. We ended up dropping. Came back, good analysis. Rejected our level. Ended up wicking us out. Yeah, we've attempted 2 trades here. So we attempted the shorts off the rejection here. Displacement on the 5-minute. Got wicked out. We had 100 tick stops on both of them. We're trading 3 micros. Barely wicked up. Stopped us out and then dropped for a few hundred ticks. And then we waited for a pullback into the 5-minute order block, 1-minute fair value gap. Got an entry. Wicked up 100 something ticks. Stopped us out. Right, and then it rejected again. So we only tried 2 because with 2 trades today, that's our daily loss limit on these accounts. But yes, it is recorded. I do record every session. I'll have it posted right after for you. Yeah, and like I was saying before, guys, not a day that I would risk real money. Not a day that I would probably even risk funded money. For sure. Not one of those days. That's why you guys didn't see me take any trades today. But, yeah, the prop firm account, since we already have it in the profit, I'm willing to be a little bit more aggressive, I should say. Well, yeah, I mean, take it from Mario there. It's a tough thing to go through. It's a tough thing to go through, especially when you're very close to passing an eval or getting a payout, whatever it may be. When you start to feel that, that's when you really want to start walking away. When you start to feel that urge to just pass it right now, you should just walk away, wait for a better day, wait for a different time to pass it. Yeah, I'm going to go live on YouTube for a power hour, so in about like 40 minutes. We'll see if I don't know if I'll take any trades during it. I most likely won't be taking any trades on it, but I'm still going to go live. And then I'll go live here on the Discord too. I'll be live on both, so you guys can still get the live, not delayed feedback. Like YouTube is pretty delayed, so you guys can still get live on Discord. So I'll go live for that. So, oh, trust me, I know, Mario. Hey, I've been there. Just a learning lesson. Look at that. Look how we're rejecting that level again, guys. We never disrespected it. So even with our 100 tick stop, still got stopped again, and then now we're falling back down. All right, so that's just the way it goes. That's the way it's been going today. Or not been going, but that's just how it is today. Okay, so, I mean, that's probably it for this session. I will hop back on for Power Hour when I'm live on YouTube. I'll just start the session on here. So I'll see you guys in like 35 minutes. So don't miss me too much. I'll miss you guys. I'll see you soon. All right, stay safe until then. Don't go do anything too crazy in the next 30 minutes. All right, guys. Oh, voice crack. All right, I'll see you soon. Peace.